BMW, plastic, and buttons. Most BMW owners already have an idea of what I'm trying to say, don't you? I managed to figure out 2 out of 3. First one is BMW general repairs and maintenance. Second one is plastic restoration. By the way, all of those videos link in the description below. But third one, the buttons. Most of the BMWs you can get buttons replacement of the Amazon, eBay, and there's a whole bunch of them. 5 Series, 3 Series, of X5, and like the list goes on and on. But for some reason, the BMW Z4 E89 is not the same. I searched everywhere, DHgate, AliExpress, and unfortunately I couldn't find. However, I was trying to search for it on pretty much every single platform. It didn't happen. I couldn't find it. But I found a different solution, which is the CriCut or any other vinyl cutting machine. How does it work? Make a template, drop it in the app, and print it out or cut it out. Simple, but you have to spend some time with it. I'm talking about fitment, and also machine is precise, but everything has its limit. The machine can make all kind of things, such as stickers, shirt stickers, logos, and whatever your imagination can make out of it. Or at least it's not gonna make exact same pattern as BMW have. It's just not gonna be able to get that precise cut in terms of how many shapes it does have the original buttons. I did test it out. It didn't really work. I ended up finding a nice image, and after test fit, it looks nice. The BMW Z4 has a pretty usual problem with fan speed buttons and a roof button. The roof buttons you can order off the DHgate or AliExpress, but unfortunately you cannot get the fan buttons unless you will purchase the new AC control panel, new or used. I look everywhere. The downside of this method is that you have to, or you'd be better off removing the buttons completely, since the finished product will look pretty clean if you sand down the remaining paint. You can see the perfect example here. The picture on the left is pretty visible outline from underneath. Compared to the right one, it looks perfect. You can find this assembly video in the description below or in the cards. This video is pretty short, but at least I wanted to add the procedure, what I did to it, or how did I accomplish to perfect look, that what I mentioned in the video. So I did start by looking for a good pattern. I had a few, but this one looked the best. At least I think so. I did try to use the OEM image, but the outcome wasn't the best. On the top, I was trying to make the button shape, but after all, it takes too much time to test fit it, so I skipped this step. You can get the bigger piece and cut the edges on the spot. But after all, if you're trying to simply cover the button without sanding it, you can clearly see the outlines from under the vinyl. And I would say it can be done temporary, since if the temperature inside the car will be too high, the vinyl might pop out the edges. After I got the right pattern and had the good test fit, I did remove the panel and buttons just by layering with the pick tool. After that, I did sand down the remaining paint with 15 and 2000 green sandpaper. Cleaned with alcohol, set the button on the flashlight and covered with the vinyl. Why do you want to use the flashlight? Because the light will go through that lit area or the spot that has to be the cutout for the pattern. I think you get general idea of what I'm trying to say. After you got the vinyl onto the button, use the heat gun or the hair dryer to get the edges tacked behind the edges of the button. And voila! After all, I was thinking to use a little bit of the super glue, just get on the vinyl and then I'll put it onto the button to make sure it's permanently going to sit on the button. The glue is definitely going to be a good idea, because if you're going to be washing or using a microfiber towel a lot to clean those buttons, I don't think it's going to last for a long time, especially with this pattern, as it has those like really tiny and sharp edges. Beside that, it's been 4 months and it's still there, or I just sold the car, so you know. It definitely is a slow process, but I think it's a good solution if you have no other way around. I did test it out on some other patterns. I have like one for the gear lever, I have some for other buttons, and I test them out and they seems like working pretty good. Also, as you can see, I have a couple cards, which is pretty cool. This machine can paint, this machine can cut vinyl. As you can see, the logo right here, or not the logo, the Savage Motor Gears, and the logo right on the back of the screen, which is pretty precise and accurate, and I love it. Like, you can do pretty much anything you want. For me, it was interesting to make some like a logo or BMW Z4, which it looks pretty darn good. But beside that, I hope you guys did like the video. If so, put the thumbs up button there, subscribe my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.